All right, you guys, let's jump in and get started. So I want to start off by sharing my sales story. I think we all have a sales story. We all have a sales journey, and I want to share mine with you and help you get to know it. In full transparency, I really do love the sales process now. However, I did not love the sales process when I started. I was terrible at sales. My first position in sales, well, actually, my first time ever selling, I didn't know I was in sales and I was great at it. And so I was recruiting volunteers to go teach English in different countries. I had done a volunteer kind of mini mission where I spent 5 months abroad teaching English in Russia. And I loved it. I thought it was life-changing for me. It was life-changing for the kids that I volunteered with. And I wanted everyone to have that experience. So I went home and I became a recruiter. I was in college. I was paid on commission. I broke the commission system because they were used to having like one recruiter would sign up, 5 people per semester. I signed up 23, and after that they went to hourly. And it was a great experience for me, but here's the deal. I didn't know that I was in sales. I just knew I was passionate about something and I wanted to share that experience and I wanted to make a difference. And because I didn't know and understand that I was in sales and I was too young to get that, I couldn't get in my own way. And so I went forward with no fear, no hesitation, and I just did what I set out to do, which was I had this big goal that I wanted to fill an entire city's worth of volunteers. And my city had had about 20 volunteers. So I thought if I could get 20 volunteers, that would be awesome. And I ended up with 23. So that was my first experience, but I didn't know I was in sales. How many of you feel like or can relate to the fact that your mindset sometimes gets in your way when it comes to closing deals and closing clients? If you feel like sometimes what's in your head causes you some problems, I would love for you to go ahead and just raise your hand in the chat box and say, that's me, or I have that, or been there. But let's see if I'm the only one on the face of the earth who ever gets in their own way because of their mindset. I'm guessing I'm not, but maybe I am because nobody's responding. Seriously guys, am I the only one? Okay, thank you. I was wondering there if it was just me and I was somehow talking to this audience of people who have no challenges with their sales mindset whatsoever. So thank you guys. So that was my first experience. My second experience was completely different because I knew I was in sales and I had all sorts of money challenges. I had all sorts of mindset challenges. I really struggled for the first couple of years as an entrepreneur. It was hard. My biggest successes during my first couple of years as an entrepreneur were losing enough money in my business that we could claim a loss and get back a good tax return. And that was what kept me in entrepreneurship for my first couple of years, was that there was at least a really good tax return because we had lost money in the business, and I could feel like it wasn't a complete loss. That's the honest truth. We looked forward to those tax returns, kept us in business another year. So my second round, I was in direct sales and I was selling makeup. I was 22 years old. I had just graduated from college, just had my first baby. My husband was still in school, so we were in that poor starting out life college student phase. All of our friends were in that same phase of life, poor, just kind of starting out, not necessarily my ideal client. And so I remember when I signed up, I told my upline that I didn't know anybody. I said, I'm not from here originally. My husband and I are just in college, right out of college. We don't know a lot of people. I don't know who I'm going to work with. And the truth was, I actually did know people that I could work with, but I was scared to work with them, if I'm being totally honest. They were older. They were more experienced. They seemed scary. Like they might judge me and think, who is this girl to sell us makeup? I mean, it was just, I was intimidated by them. And so I thought this will be a great thing to just say, I don't know anyone. And then she won't make me talk to the people that I'm scared to talk to. So I was taught how to meet people. She took me out to the mall and she said, okay, Amy, you go this way. I'm going to go this way. We're going to meet back in the middle in an hour and you better have 5 names. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Are you crazy? I did not sign up for this. This sounds insane. Any of you would feel like you want to wet your pants if that happened, feel free to type it in the chat, because I was freaking out in that moment. And she took me, dropped me off, went her way. And for the next hour, I walked around the mall feeling nauseous, kind of sweaty, tongue-tied, and trying to figure out how I was going to meet people. And it was like, oh my gosh, there's people everywhere and I can't seem to talk to any of them. Have you ever felt like that? Like, you look around and you know that there are people to work with, but you seriously don't know how to start that conversation and how to talk to them. Well, we're going to help you with that today. That's why you're here for the All Sales Summit. And I'll tell you, there is a much better way than what I did. So what I did was I would start up awkward conversations. Hey, I like your bag. Cute baby. I have a baby at home too. Where'd you get your shoes? I mean, I couldn't seem to transition into figuring out how to talk about business. Hint, stalking people in the mall is not a great marketing strategy, just saying. But I didn't know any better. So finally, I found a girl and she was sitting down and I thought, okay, she's sitting down. She can't move. I'm gonna be able to talk to her and this is gonna work. And I walked up and I said, hi, I just wanted to tell you that you're really pretty. And she looked up at me with fear in her eyes because she thought I was asking her out on a date. She thought I was hitting on her. And I remember in that moment thinking, oh my gosh, I am insane. This is very apparent. And in that moment, I had two beliefs that implanted in my mind. As she looked at me with pure terror in her eyes, and I said, no, not like that. Just like, I sell makeup and you're really pretty. And I was wondering if I could. And she said, yeah, no. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I walked away trying not to, walk with too much dejection in my body language because I was feeling it. And in that moment, two things implanted in my mind. Number one, I can't sell. Sales are just not my thing. And number two, I hate talking to people. So those were my two beliefs. I can't sell. Sales just aren't my thing. And number two, I hate talking to people. So they were seared inside of my brain. So for the next few years, here I am as an entrepreneur trying to do business with that belief that I'm not a salesperson. Sales just aren't my thing. I can't sell. I hate sales. Sales are the worst. If it wasn't for the fact that I have to sell, I would absolutely love this business because I love teaching people. I love hanging out with girls. I love helping people. I love helping people start businesses, but I have to sell. Have any of you ever felt that way? Can you relate to that? If you've had that inner dialogue going on that you're maybe just not a salesperson or sales just aren't your thing, go ahead and type in, I can relate. Because we're going to shift that thinking today. That's what this summit is all about, is how for you to be able to shift. So I did go through, and go ahead, you guys, relate. Okay, so Avalon can relate, Katina can relate, Regina, Pat can relate. I'm so glad you guys can relate to this because what I want to share with you is the transition of how I shifted out of that. And I'm going to help you do it faster than what it was for me. So it was slow for me. I spent 1 year, one solid year working hard and consistently with those two broken beliefs. And at the end of it, I did not do well. I told you that my big success, my first 2 years in business, was losing enough money that we could get a really big tax return back and claiming a loss. So at the end of that year, I remember sitting in my car and really having a conversation with the divine about me quitting as an entrepreneur and me just saying, it's just not for me, Lord. Like, I'm spending time away from my baby. I'm spending time away from my husband. I'm losing money. I'm not able to sell. Like, sales is just clearly not my thing. This is just, it's not for me. And so I think it's time for me to quit. I really think it's time for me to just throw in the towel. If I've got to get a job, I'll go teach. Like, I'm certified to do that. I can be a stay-at-home mom. I'll do whatever. Just, I want out. And that was my conversation. And there were some tears involved with that. There were some big feelings of disappointment and failure. And my answer that day was, no, I was not supposed to quit as an entrepreneur. And I want you to understand that it made zero sense to me in that moment, because in that moment, we were starting out our family, and I knew we wanted to have a big family. We have 5 kids. We knew we wanted a big family. We knew that motherhood was going to be important and demanding. My husband had plans. He was still finishing up school, and we had plans of what his life was going to look like and what we're going to do. And it just didn't make sense for me to spend all this time and energy struggling in something. And I want to share with you the response that I got that day, which was, you're here because you're becoming the woman that you're meant to become. And entrepreneurship for me really has been this development ground. And since then, I'm proud to say I have learned how to sell. It took me a little while, and I'm hoping to shorten your learning curve, which is one of the reasons I'm so passionate about teaching people how to sell, is because if you learn this skill, you will start making money. I'm not saying it's the only skill to learn in your business, but I am saying it's the first skill to master in your business. So when you learn this skill, you will start earning money. And I want that for you, because this is a great place for you to be able to develop who you are. It's not just about the money. I look at the benefits and the blessings that have come to my life through entrepreneurship and through business, and it's not just money. It is great that my husband and I get to work together. It is great that we have been able to move our family where we feel called to serve and where we feel like we're supposed to be. Huge blessings. It's great that we get to take vacations and have that family time and build those memories, because my oldest is a senior in high school, and I cannot tell you how much I am appreciating those memories that we've created, because they're going to start like flying the nest pretty soon. I'm not ready for that, you guys. Can we just say, let's pretend all my kids are like 10. But I really do have one who's going to graduate this year. So, all of those things are wonderful. But also, the people that I've been able to impact. I am truly motivated by impact and influence and making a difference in the world around me. I do business because I love to serve. If any of you can relate to that you feel like you feel called to entrepreneurship because you have a message or a passion or a mission, and you feel like this is your platform, I want you to just type in and say, this is my place. Because if you are supposed to be here, then you have people that are waiting on you. So go ahead and type in, this is my place. This is where you are meant to serve. This is where you're called to be. This is your spot, you guys. This is where you can make a difference in the world around you. And I have to say, I love being a woman and an entrepreneur in this time and space, because doors and opportunities that are open to me now wouldn't have even been open to my grandmother. It's not been that long since women in business have really had a voice and an opportunity in place. I'm so grateful to be able to serve. So I feel truly called to do what I do and to help people. And I want you to really understand, and everybody write this down, sales is opening the door to your service and inviting people to come in. So if you feel like you have a message or a mission or a product or something that is going to make the world better, then you have a moral obligation to open that door and invite people in. Because there are people starving all around the world, physically starving, mentally starving, emotionally starving, starved for freedom, starved for time, starved for so many different things. People are hungry, and they are looking, and they're searching, and they need what you have to offer. And so I really want you to be committed to opening that door and inviting people in. And that's what sales is it's inviting people in. So if you're ready to make that shift and shift from feeling like, oh, I'm tired of bugging people, I hate asking them for money, and all those mental stories of sales aren't my thing, I'm not a salesperson, and you're willing to open your door for service and to help more people, I want you to type in, my door is open. My door is open. Are you open for business? Are you going to invite people in? Go ahead and type in, my door is open, because I want to see who is really ready to play. Okay, you guys, I love it. Alexis, I'm so excited you're here. Missy, I'm so excited you're here. Heather, I can't wait to hear from you soon. And Heather, I think it is the mark of a true leader when they show up to teach and they show up to learn. So awesome. So glad that you're on. And cannot wait, honestly, to do your interview. So Liz, so glad that you're here. Even if you're getting feedback, I'm not getting feedback, but I'm also the only one talking and I can't hear anything else. So I hope you can figure out whatever the feedback is. Okay, Katina, so glad that you're here. Trish, welcome. Trish, I'm so excited to hear from you in just a couple of minutes. And truly, Trish is a master of like being able to show up and produce results. So when you guys get to hear from her, just know she's not somebody who's teaching from theory. She's teaching from exactly what she has done. So I'm excited for that. Okay, so the reason why I decided to do this summit is because I just launched my new book. It's called the I'm Not a Salesperson Sales Book, Sell Like a Natural Even If You're Not. I hope that I have painted the picture for you that when I got started in business, I was not a natural at sales. None of it came naturally to me. Every single thing that I learned how to do, I had to work on shifting my mindset. I had to work on my skill set. I had to work on building up my activity stamina so that I could do the right amount of activity in order to generate the results. And those things, like I feel like I learned every lesson the hard way, and I don't want that for you. I wanted you to be able to really learn how to sell in a way that is smooth, that is helpful. And so we decided, with a conjunction of the launch of the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book, which I'm going to tell you how to get for free in just a second. So get your pens ready. Actually, just get your typing ready. I'm going to give you a link where you can go and get that for free. But in conjunction with the launch of the book, I really wanted to bring together sales experts to help you have an amazing last quarter of the year. So we are going into the final home stretch of the year. And you have goals, I have goals. I wanted us to all give a jump start. And I know that the best thing we can do to reach those goals is close deals, acquire new clients, get people signed up, get them using our products or our services or into our programs. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this whole summit, is helping you get those skills. Okay. Who wants the book for free? If you want to get this book for free, go ahead and type in, I want it. And I'm going to share that with you right now. So Natasha wants it, and she really wants it because she has extra E's on her wanting it. So, okay, here's how you get it. You are going to go to www.salesaremything.com. I'll type that, or I'll say that again. Just pull up another browser, go straight there right now, www.salesaremything.com. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to tell you a couple things that are in here. There's tips in here for how to work on your sales mindset. There's some mentoring tools that you can use to shift those broken beliefs and shift into really understanding that sales are your thing. If you're here to serve, you're here to sell. It is opening the door and inviting people in. So if you're here to serve, you are here to sell. Sales are your thing. So we're going to shift the mindset, and we're going to help you develop a powerful sales mindset. It's going to give you the skills that you need. Things like learning how to overcome objections, which I will be teaching on later today. So what do you say when somebody goes, I really love it, I'd love to do it, but I just can't afford it? Or I'm just so busy, I just don't have time. Or, you know, I love what you do, but I can get it cheaper at Walmart, right? Like, we need to know how to overcome those. So there's specific training in here for that. There's training on your reach out scripts. This actually, a lot of this book is script templates. So knowing what to say when you are closing a deal, and your one-on-one scripts, and you're teaching to groups. I mean, there's all the scripts in here that you need. So, and then it gives you tips on how to sell to certain types of people. Like, how do you close indecisive people? How do you close people who are a little bit tricky to sell to? Knowing your numbers, understanding how marketing and sales intersect. There's just a lot of great info in here, qualifying your leads. So I hope that you'll get it. It is an easy read. It's very easy to digest. And you're going to want to go to salesaremything.com. And I see in here that we have an error message. So let me just see if I can pull it up on my end. And then we can put that in. It is working on my page when I do salesaremything.com, but let me just go ahead and type in another link that you can use. just to go straight there too. So either way, you should be able to go and get that book for free. All I ask, okay, so I'm giving you the book for free. You can go get it on Amazon. It's like $14.99 on Amazon. It's definitely worth it, but I want to give it to you for free. And all that I ask is that you share it with somebody else as well. You all know somebody else who's trying to learn how to sell. And so this book was really written. I never planned to make $1 million on this book. I always planned to give this book away and let it be an extension of my service. And it is me opening my door. That's what we're talking about. Sales is all about opening your door and inviting people in. So this is my invitation to come be part of my pool, part of my tribe. And let's really shift the mindset around sales. You guys, I don't know anybody who is a born salesman. I hear that, like, oh, I'm just not a born salesman, or I'm just not a born saleswoman. I'm not a natural. Nobody is. That's what I want you to understand. Nobody is. Last week, I closed over $70,000 in programs. I was not a natural. I was as far from being a natural as you could possibly imagine. But what I did was I learned the skills. I learned how to listen to people. I learned how to ask good questions. I learned how to do sales scripting. I learned how to overcome objections. And I learned how to love the process and how to find my zone in sales in order to sell in a way that feels like me. Sometimes I hear people say, it's just not me. Well, you know what? It can be. Like, who says that you have to sell like somebody else? You can find a way to sell that works for you and feels true to who you are. So I am excited for today, you guys. This is going to be a really great full day of training and tips and usable things. I do have a challenge for you before we bring Trish on, which we're going to bring Trish on here in just a minute. So here's my challenge for you. I want you to think of one thing, one question, one need that you have that you want to get an answer to today. Because I will tell you this, you're going to get a ton of ideas, and you're going to be taking notes, and you're going to have this idea and that idea, and a great tip from Trish, and a great tip from Michael, and a great tip from Shay. You're going to have great tips from every single person. But you right now in your business, with regards to sales, have one challenge that you don't have the answer to. That's why you're here in the first place. There's one challenge. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's process. Maybe it's you need to hire a salesperson. You don't know how to do that. Maybe it's you don't know how to prospect. You don't have enough leads to talk to. Whatever it is for you, I want you to pick the number one thing that if you could fix it, your business could skyrocket in fourth quarter, and you could end the year strong and go into 2020 with momentum. What is that thing for you? Go ahead and type it in. I want to see what those are so that we can make sure that we cover them today. And if nobody talks about it, I'll try to ask those questions. So go ahead and type that into the chat box. What is your one thing that if you could get today, your business would skyrocket for fourth quarter? Go ahead and type that in. Let's see what you got. And while you're doing that, okay, getting more leads for sales, more quality leads, awesome. Getting your team to sell, confidence. Oh, Missy, if your team needs to sell, send them the link right now. Like, they can join. In fact, I will type in, I'm going to put that in the chat box right now, the link to join, and they are welcome to get on with us. So here's the link. And everybody, you know what? Let's just do this. We'll just do a little fun break. While I'm getting Trish on, you can all take a minute and you can share this link with somebody that you think needs to be here. So yeah, send that out. Okay, and Susan just got her book. Yay, I love that. That's so exciting. Okay, Catalina needs more buying customers, learning how to close, more ideals for ideal clients, quality prospects, more business partners, confidence. Okay, you guys, I'm on it. I'm going to make sure we get all these things answered for you today.